Hello everybody, Jeremy Larson, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, PenFed Realty Texas, y'all. This is a critique of a home that I'm doing for a client. So this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. It's just been listed yesterday. It is $399,900. I'm going to go through the pluses and minuses as I see it. There are some large trees in the yard. This particular cul-de-sac is pretty well maintained. Some of the homes on the entryway and on the other side of the lead-in street, less so. Some of these houses behind here have some deferred maintenance that I can tell. But that's typical of some of these changing areas. I did very faintly hear in the distance the dart rail line that runs down 35, but you wouldn't be able to hear that in the house. Roof looks good, probably been recently replaced. There's a little bit of a tilty vent stack there, but that's not any big deal. The window quality is actually really good. They've been replaced with vinyl windows. Bronze on the outside, white on the inside. That is not a cheap choice, so they definitely made a design decision there. Coach lamps to either side of the front door. You have a rain glass insert on this side light here. Looks to be the original front door. Nothing wrong with that. A lot of this home is wood laminate floor. It does seem like it's on a substrate. I am, as I walk around, getting a little bit of movement up and down, and I'll comment on that as we go around. Not a bad floor plan, and I'm saying that, and it's actually a pretty appealing floor plan. Vaulted ceiling in the living area here with this center beam and ceiling fan. They made some really good design choices. Painted the brick. That looks to be a metal wood burning box with a gas starter, so you could do wood logs there or gas. Baseboards have been replaced. Nice light fixture in the breakfast, and it has, this would have originally been all stained woodwork, but it's been painted, which I probably would have done the same. Little pantry closet over here that L's back. Looks like they've replaced all the sockets. I don't see any of the original windows in the house, which is good. Stainless appliances, gas range in the kitchen. 3x6 Subway marble backsplash, and then you've got quartz countertops. Plenty of cabinetry, lots of lowers and a decent amount of uppers. Bronze hardware. Nice that they did that little pop-up over the microwave. And these are new boxes. They're not soft close, but they are new boxes. Whirlpool microwave, GE range with a griddle inset for the 5th burner here. Nice side space over there, and that is the ice maker for the refrigerator. The remodeler, whomever did this, did replace the housing for the water line to the refrigerator. LED can lighting, both there and in the kitchen ceiling here. Garage goes right into the kitchen. I like that it is separated from the utility room. One of my pet peeves is going through a utility room to get into a house. Large apron, concrete apron leading into the garage. So you've got an alley access, but it is basically a forward access also. Fence has seen better days. It's serviceable, but barely. Got a stone holding the gate closed and there's no latch. Brick is an attractive color. Looks like somebody at one point had an electric vehicle. There's a 220 there. And there's an inset here for some storage space. There is evidence here of prior foundation work, so I'll definitely get paperwork on that. Water heater is gas. A little curious about this vent setup here. It does drain out to the garage. That was kind of the fix for a lot of these houses before code would have dictated it go outside. Does have an automatic garage door opener. Panel looks good. It's been replaced at some point. This is not likely to be the original electric panel on the house, but that looks like it's probably a good, at least 10 years old, if not older, maybe 20. They did rocker switches in here. It is very pleasant. It's a really nice little floor plan. Has good flow. I wish there was a cabinet surround for the refrigerator, but can't have everything, I suppose. And then this is the utility room. Again, they replaced the washer lines in a new box. There's a shelf, and the wood laminate continues in here. Nice window. And then there's a storage closet here. Originally, this would have had hanging and these shelves, but someone's taken the rod out at some point. Lever door hardware. The only place I didn't see that was on the water heater closet. Inside the front door, you've got this hanging pendant light. This could be used as a study or as a dining, obviously. They did leave in the original casing. This tells me that there were originally double doors here, but it's not offensive. It's just something to point out. Some of the fit and finish, as you can tell, is not the best. They did okay, but it's certainly got its areas. This old security wiring here, I'll point out a few spots like that. This is one of the secondary bedrooms. They're not huge. They're probably 11 by 10. Do have the nice ceiling fans consistently throughout. And there is a double closet here. Double vanities in the hall bath. White quartz countertops with wave sinks. Really nice 8-inch spread faucets. Attractive light fixtures. New tub and tile surround. I'm sure all of that is new. Aha, there's an original window. That is aluminum. Has rain glass. It's probably fine, but. And then I do like the detail where they ran the tile all the way across instead of stopping it. And they ran the tile longer over here than what is typical. And they also ran it to the ceiling and wrapped the window. And then of course you've got this penny tile detail with a ledge that is quartz, which is the proper way to do it. Inset for shampoo bottles and soap. Here's where I always try to point things out that I think could have been done better. There's a drip of paint here. There's some scuffs here. And then you can see where the texture is uneven and just really hasn't been redone as maybe it should have. And then They basically just painted the existing linen without taping anything off, and then this is the hamper down below. Not the best choice on that. So there's some areas like this where the paint fit and finish are just not quite right, which surprises me because for everything else they did right, that just seems like an unfortunate oversight. HVAC, of course, an inspector will need to look at that, but I don't see anything glaring there. That's the heat, the filter, and then the compressor would be outside. Don't remember seeing the compressor outside, so we'll look for that. Another coat closet here. Could easily be done as linen. In this recessed niche here, this was probably originally from the builder of the home, a linen cabinet. You can kind of see some halos in the walls where shelving or something used to exist that they took out. It probably looked a lot like the one that I just pointed out in the bathroom. Another ceiling fan. This is bedroom 3. Another double closet. This one has shelves on this end. Modern thermostat, that looks new. The bedroom is not giant, but it certainly functions. There's another one of those ceiling fans. You have a closet over on this end. I will tell you, in my opinion, Alpha would make this closet function so much better. Then you've got a closet on this end, which has 2 sides to it. Again, Alpha would do wonders with this configuration. I'm kind of fussy about stuff like that, but not everybody wants to spend the money on it, and not everybody thinks it matters. So the windows are amazing. There's some shadowing in the paint. All in all, not too bad. Double vanity here. This is a prefab unit. This is a completely manufactured unit with a cultured top. So basically like acrylic, 8-inch spread faucets again, and a nice light fixture. And similar effect on the tile here, where they extended it some. I'm sure they debated whether to wrap this corner around the window. The natural light here is pretty good. This is not a huge bathroom, but it actually feels larger than it is. It's nice that it has the drawer space. Didn't notice this before, but you do have bar seating along that wall. Patio and cupboard were, I'm debating whether they were part of the original construction of the house or not. There's the windows leading back into the great room. Half light for the door to the patio from the living. Ceiling fan. There's some fit and finish issues here. That's going to lead to bugs and whatnot. That needs to be addressed. A medallion there would probably take care of that, but as it sits, that's a great place for bugs to get in. Soil line is a little high along here. The appraiser's going, or the inspector, pardon me, is going to ding them for that. I still can't decide if this covered patio was original to the house or not. There's a lot of little cracks in that patio that you can see across the surface, which makes me think it wasn't part of the original construction. There's the fireplace chimney. It's a little unusual that it's steel, but I don't have any issue with that. Certainly easier than keeping up wood or brick for that matter. Fence is really tall. You've got steel poles on most of it. This section here does not, but then it starts back up again with steel poles. Sod has been replaced recently. There's no sprinkler system. This is all just dirt back here. There's the HVAC compressor, which looks not new, but modern. Soffits are okay. There's some areas like this. It probably was originally cedar or masonite. It looks like they've replaced it at some point with masonite. I don't think that's hardy. No, it's masonite. Again, not terribly atypical for houses like this. I do like this. They did a path around this side of the house. There's the kitchen window. And they graveled this whole area. So I'm kind of curious, probably expense, but I'm kind of curious why they didn't do that on the other side over there. You do have this house up behind, which is kind of interfering with your privacy a bit, but wanted to be quiet there for a second. There are some dogs off in the distance. And then this leads back around to the opposite side of the garage that we were at. And let's see what's over here. I have no idea what this is. Storage. Okay. Could use a good power wash. I think this window here might have originally been a door. That's the only reason why it makes sense that there would be a patio stoop out there, but whatevs. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up and a comment if you are so inclined. Bye, y'all.